Hi, I thought I would come on to share a couple of journal entries. And so um, they'll be really, really short actually, but I was like rereading some of my things I had written down. And I'm like, well, why not come on and just share a couple? So the first one I titled Looking Beyond Right Now. And I journaled this back in December of last year, but I just thought I would come on and share. So the quote says, there is no turning back to yesterday or to last month or to last year. No matter how much you wish you could go back and live there again, and how much you wish you could change what happened, you just can't go back. You have to keep moving forward, my beautiful friend. You have to summon all of your inner strength to let go of who you were then and use all of your courage and faith to focus on who you want to be now and who you want to be tomorrow. It might take everything you have to let go of yesterday, but once you do, you can start finding peace today. And that is by Nikki Banas. Thank you so much for that. And so, what actually got me writing about this was just simply, I was thinking about like back in the day when I was like younger. And I don't remember what age exactly, but I remember like when pagers were hot. And I can remember like I had a purple one, my sister had a pink one, and we thought we were like doing something with the pagers, right? And I don't even think they make them anymore, right? But at the time, everybody who had a pager thought that was like the best thing, the best thing. And then we went from like pagers to, I think it was Nokias. I think my freshman year in high school, um, Nokias were like really hot and like a thing. And then whoever had a Nokia, we all, if you didn't have a Nokia, you weren't doing anything. It was like the best thing. And then it went to like Blackberries. And Blackberries, at the time, it had given a sense of like, made you feel important and, you know, significant if you had a Blackberry. And then it's like, as you go through different stages in time, it's like in the moment you think that what you have is like the best that it is and the best that is available and that can be, but really it's not. And we don't really see that in the moment. It's not until after time goes on and progression that you see that, okay, there is better. So hence the title Looking Beyond Right Now. So yeah, yeah, I just thought that was like interesting. And so I won't, maybe I will read sort of from my journal so I don't forget what I had written down here. But I said you have to give things time to change and upgrade and be kind to yourself in the process. If you look up 5 years from now, God willing, of course, you will be like, I thought I had it all. But it's not until the allowing of time and change that you realize that that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best thing you had, the relationship you were in, etc. But the best has yet to come. And this is why belief and faith is so important. So yeah. Um yeah, and then I was listening to like something from Les Brown one time, and he was talking about how you have to have that thing that pulls you into the future. And I thought that was like really an important statement because while it's good to be present, yes, it's very good to be present because actually the present is all that you currently have. It's also good to have goals and some idea of what you would like to see beyond just right now in this moment, just to have something that pulls you into the future. So I thought that was like really, really like a powerful statement I heard him say. And one of the things I was, do I want to read this whole thing? It's not super long, but I don't want to leave out what I wrote. So yeah, One of the things I had said was, I said, many people can judge someone based on who they appear to be, but just keep in mind that we all have our own journey. As we move from one phase to another in our lives, it's easy to pick up the bad with the good. And the example that I had given here was like when we move. And I said, for example, when we move, you pack up, and as you're packing, you're so excited about getting settled into your new place that you're not truly assessing what you need to go into the boxes. And I can say that that's absolutely true, because sometimes it's like when you're moving, you're so amped up and excited to like get into this new place. And it's like, as you're packing, you're like, okay, I might use this thing, even though you may have never used it. It might be like a cooking thing. And maybe you don't even cook. You just bought it and it's collecting dust. But you're like, oh, maybe I will use it one day. And then it's like clothes. And it might be something you've never worn that still has a tag on it. And you're probably not going to wear it. But you say, okay, maybe I'll keep this because one day I might want to wear it. Or it's like that one thing you wore one time and it didn't fit right or whatever. And you still hold on to it thinking, one day I might wear this again. And it's like, as you're packing, you don't really take true inventory of like everything that's going into the boxes. And I think this is especially true for like people who have like hoarding like tendencies. And I have been guilty of that, so I'm not judging. But it's like difficult to let go of things sometimes, especially if you have like this narrative in your mind, like, oh, one day I might use this, one day I might wear this, or you don't really want to let it go. And so we pack all that stuff up, right? And then I said, it's not until you get to the new place and you're unpacking and it's like, well, I didn't realize I had so much stuff. Yeah. For me, I feel like packing is fun. Packing is fun. If I'm moving, packing is fun. It's like, hey, you're excited about going to the new place, right? Getting there. But it's like this idea of like moving from the old and getting to the new, and it's packing in general. I don't know what it is. It's very fun to me. I don't know why. But then it's like when you get to the new place and then you see the boxes and you're like, oh, another box. What's in this box? What did I bring here? And it's like, as you're opening up the boxes and then taking things out, you're like, well, why did I bring this? Or I'm not even going to wear this. Or why didn't I give this away to somebody else who might use it or wear it? It's like not until you start taking those things out of the boxes that you realize, okay, I shouldn't have brought this. I'm not going to use it. And it was just pointless. And so it's like one more thing you have to like contend with. So yeah, and so it's just, unpacking is not fun to me, but packing is. And then if we take it out of just like a physical sense, a lot of us do that emotionally and with our mental space and things like that. So it goes beyond just like physical things and physical items. And so yeah, I just thought that was like interesting. And so I said, um I'm not going to even you say you're not going to use or wear this thing, but instead of giving it away, you hold on to it. And it's because you develop an unhealthy attachment to it. And so you're taking those old habits and old thoughts, an old attitude into a new environment that doesn't work. And so it's about taking a look at what's old and what you actually will use and what has been useful to you, and assessing whether you can use it to where you're going. But a lot of us, this process can be painful because we don't know how to release things and let things go sometimes. So things that don't serve us to our new environment. And I just said, how true is that? Like, we do that with I mean, we make career adjustments and workplace changes and new relationships and even go into marriages, and um, it might be actually a physical moving space you're moving, but it's like we hold on to things so tightly that may have worked for a period of time, or it or maybe it did not work at all where we were, but we're trying to use that same thing as like a frame of reference for like where we're going, and it doesn't match, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't belong, and it has no place in this new environment, this new space, the new relationship, whatever it is. So it's about learning how to let things go and release some things. So yeah, I just thought that was like really, really interesting. And another thing I'll share really, really quickly is that I was watching the movie Patch Adams, and it was like a scene in the movie where Robin Williams, he went into the room of, like, he was staying in like this mental facility, and so he had went into the room of like one of the guys who was living there. It was like a grumpy old man, and he sat next Robin Williams sat next to the man, and the man told Robin Williams, he said, hold out your hand. And Robin Williams did that, and he was like, the old man had asked him like, well, what do you see? And Robin Williams was like, I just see my hand, I just see 5 fingers. And now this is not verbatim, it's like sort of paraphrasing here because I don't remember the exact verbiage, but the basic point was that Robin Williams was like, I just see my hand, that there's nothing there. And then the old man, he was like really grumpy, and he was like, stop looking at the hand, just look past the hand. What do you see? What do you see? And I don't know if you ever done this, but have you ever been so intently focused on something and like visually looking at something that your eyes have like, there's a different vision that comes to where you're still focused intently, but not on that thing necessarily. And so that's what the whole point of that was. It's like, stop looking at the problem and look past that, and you'll find the solution. Look past the problem in order to find the resolution. Stop focusing so much there. And so I thought it was a really powerful point in that, a lesson in that movie actually, because I said a lot of us do that, myself included. Sometimes we can become so hyper focused on like an issue or a problem we think we have, however big or small. It, you know, what a problem is relative to a lot of people, but we can become so intensely focused on that thing that we can't even figure out a way out of it, or we think it's impossible to get around or get through it. But it's not until you like take your foot off of it and take your vision off of it just for a minute, and then you can come back to that thing, and then you oftentimes can like look at it with a different perspective, or the solutions will come to you of how to solve the problem because you have a fresh set of eyes on it. And so it's about, don't focus on the problem. Look past the problem. And oftentimes your perspective will change, which will often bring about a solution to the problem, or a way to, or even maybe a different way to look at it in general. And you realize like, this thing I was worried about wasn't even that huge of a deal. Sometimes it's like that too. So yeah, I just thought I would share that. So like looking beyond right now, looking beyond your problem. And yeah, so something I had taken from that movie, but I was Patch Adams. So yeah, looking beyond right now. And one of the things I think is like really, really important is just that, to not make like a permanent decision in a temporary situation, no matter what it looks like, no matter how challenging you think it is, or however big you think this thing is, this obstacle, whatever it is. Just, or even if you're feeling like you might be in a pit, still don't make a permanent decision, because whatever's going on around you, whatever it looks like, it's only temporary. And it will change. I don't care what it looks like, what it feels like, it will change. So yeah, I just think it's so true, for sure. So I just thought I would like share that really quickly. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you on the next video.